We are live. Hello, Miss
Yay.
Julie.
Hello, Miss Tina. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy 2022. Welcome.
We did it. We did it. Yay.
Yeah, we're starting a new calendar year.
Oh, thank God. I am so happy to be out of 21. I can't not tell you. I know everyone is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, yeah, and it's almost like, okay,
Yeah.
let's,
Now what?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. Let's
So
get
we're
in on
welcoming, yeah, we're
Facebook.
just starting, and so as we wait for people to join, and please, yeah, please share a hello um, in the chat room. We would love to hear from you. If you don't, it's fine. If you're a bit shy, that's okay. We just,
Oh, yeah.
we welcome your presence no matter no matter
There's
which way
our
that is.
There's our Miss Eleanor. Hello. Happy New Year to you. We did it,
Yeah,
Eleanor. We did it. Proud of you.
yeah. And Arlene's, yeah.
And Arlene is here. There she is. Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. Oh, there we go. People are popping in now. Yeah. Yeah. Hello.
Jillian, Happy New Year. Yes.
Yeah.
Something to
Oh.
celebrate. We do need to celebrate this. We've come really, really far.
Mm.
And I'm glad we could do it together. I really am. I
Yes.
know we were not very consistent all year with all of
No.
the stuff 21 threw at us, but I'm happy we got through this together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, yeah. So this year, I mean, different year, different energies, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Julie was talking about that. It feels different. It's like, well, yeah, because it's a different
Does.
number.
Right? Right?
Yeah. So it will be different. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's why we're here today. We're gonna um, talk about January forecast. We were thinking of doing the year, but we're quite not ready. And I mean, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
We're being honest about it. Maybe next show we'll get that going. And
Here's what I think too,
mhm,
because I tried to do a couple of
yeah,
card draws for the
yeah,
year. Every time I did it, the energy was changing and shifting. But I
wow,
think those are the times that we're in. Like, I don't think it really is reality to be able to look a year ahead at this point, right? Like, it's just
yeah,
changes so rapidly. It's good for the numbers. Now, the numbers are
yes, it is.
wonderful for that
Yeah,
because the numbers are stable and solid. They're not ever
yeah,
changing like the energy is. The energy just
yeah,
really moves in and out of things. And right now
yeah.
we're at a fast pace with that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, so I mean, I can do that. So I'm trying to become more disciplined.
It's my
Because
resolution too.
so I've been so like I want to say kind of flighty last year. And
Mm-hmm.
almost like, I was like, you know what? Uh like kind of I don't want to say slacking off, but almost where it was like, I kind of want to just not be overwhelmed with doing stuff all the time. I kind of wanted to take in, even though we
Yeah.
couldn't do a lot, I just kind of wanted to take in my daily life.
Yes.
And like other stuff got in the way. Like it was, yeah, things going off in different directions. And it's like, this is a year, like I'm just going to quickly share 2022. If this is supposed to be a number, it's a 6, where, okay, people will want to like find a comfort zone. They will want to kind of, bring things home and settle down and create. It's not so much about stability and security, it's more about comfort and like, okay, I don't want to venture too far, or I don't want to get too crazy this year, that kind of energy. So I think people are going to, yeah, because it's about responsibility. So I think people are going to just find like, okay, it's going to be easier for me to follow up, I don't know, like a plan, or just, you know get things in place, or work
Yes.
on this or that. I think that's going to be easier in that sense.
I think so too.
That
Kind of
makes
shed
sense.
some of the responsibilities we feel like we've all been shouldering the last couple of years. You know, we've all had to
Yeah,
be very responsible. And
yeah,
21, my dad and I were talking about this on the way back from his doctor's appointment. Seems very surreal to me. Like I feel like I've been in this parallel universe, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And so I'm kind of trying to ground it in now and
yeah.
be in my body more, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the year. Like it's not going to be an easy year when I look at all the numbers,
Yeah,
but nothing's easy in life. Like not everything's easy in life, I should say.
that's
Not
right.
everything is. I mean,
That's right.
there's going to be some good qualities this coming year, but there's also going to be some challenging ones. And I think one of the good things will be is like, yeah, we want I think we want comfort. Comfort shows up strongly. So whether it's
Yeah.
like to be comforted or to find things that will comfort us, or seek what brings us comfort, on
Yeah.
all different levels. So yeah.
I like that.
So, but we're here to talk about January. And
Yes.
so for those that are listening, it's not about personal readings. It's where Julie and I share the forecast, like themes and traits and things that we pick up through numerology, the tarot, the spirit animal, and psychic inclinations that we get for the collective, for everybody.
Yes.
So it's for the general population. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but we do welcome you if you want to share an insight, if you have a comment, a question about that, please add that in the chat room. We would love to hear from you. We're quite open to hearing what you have to say and share.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Hi, Karina.
yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Karina. Yes, I think she's new.
Yeah.
I think so.
Look, we're
Welcome.
bringing new
Yeah,
people
welcome
in
all new
already.
people. That's right. New year, new people. Welcome
Great.
to our family.
Yes, I love that.
Okay, so here we go.
Yes.
Um,
2022.
yeah, so this month it's a number 7 in numerology, and it's a number that likes to go within. It's not it it's not one about, okay, everyone, let's go take some action or let's go do stuff, because it doesn't really like that. It wants you to, you know, hey, settle down, like
Yeah.
just sit there and wait. Okay, just sit there, nobody move, everyone be quiet. That kind of
Everybody to your
just yeah,
corner.
yeah, that's right. Stop running around. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
like that busyness, it doesn't like noise. So it's an energy, and I think a lot of people, you know what, I'm almost picking up too, it's almost like people are, I think, cautiously optimistic
Yeah.
right now. Like it's almost like, and they might, attain it to like, well, the last few years, every time I've made plans for the year, they never worked out, or this happened or that. So I don't know what to plan. So they could, say it's about that, but I want to say it's fine. That's okay if that's your reason. But I want to say it's the energy. It's an energy of like, okay, going within and like tuning into like, okay, what what do I see? What do I see for myself? What do I want to bring into my world? What do I want? What feels good? Like it's because it's very, very spiritual and intuitive.
Yeah.
So one of the main things I got was like watching. So it's
Hmm.
like, okay, so we will, let's say, it could be like people watching, like, if you find like, I'm just interested in watching the world go by right now. Or it could be like
Yes.
watching and waiting for like, okay, I'm going to see if this will come my way, or I'm going to watch and see what's my next move or what I should be doing. So it's almost like, I think like hesitant to take big steps or big actions, because it's like, watching, observing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And seeing what comes in now and processing,
Yeah.
processing. I was reading about I know I'm jumping ahead now to
Yeah.
the Arctic
Yeah.
fox,
Yeah,
to the
yeah, I
spirit animal.
know.
And
Yeah,
that
go
is
ahead.
about watching and waiting
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
integrating, and really processing what we're learning and listening to our higher selves now.
That's
It's
right.
not so much about showing people who we are. It's learning who we are now at this point, and
Yeah.
going within, a lot of going within too, and listening
Yeah.
to your intuition. It's very spiritual,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
Arctic
and I get
fox.
goosebumps just what you're sharing with that. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, the Arctic fox, like, who, like
Yeah.
that feels like such a strong presence, for
Yes.
us. And it's like you're right, and like the
Right.
Arctic fox specifically because it's completely white.
It is.
S-
Yeah.
So
So
so so it's camouflage. So it's almost like, like, and that's the seven energy. It likes to be hidden. It's like just waiting in the wings and you're backstage or you're just like, observing. And it's like also like you said, observing your own intuition, observing what comes through for you and how things just fall into place if you just let things go naturally because
yes.
that's the energy of it, right? Like sometimes it's about letting nature take its course or letting things just, so something falls to the wayside, let it fall to the wayside. If something arrives in your path and it's like, should I take it? If it feels very natural and, go with that, right? Like
Absolutely.
let that happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let it happen naturally, because when we're
Yeah.
pushing against things, we're almost resisting it.
Yes.
When we have a need for something to come in, it's
Yes.
almost keeping it away, right? Because you need that to be happy. And so when we let go of those needs, I'll be happy when, it's
Hmm.
very freeing. It really is very freeing, to
Yeah.
let that kind of go.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's part of the energy too, is like allowing surrender,
Yes.
right? And
Right.
I think, with observing and watching and going within, that's what it encompasses all of those traits as well. So I challenge, I don't know if that's a right good word. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's scary for something, but I almost want to say like allow yourself as often as you can to, to just surrender and to like see how things flow or like see how things happen naturally in your world or let nature take its course. I want to challenge everyone to try to do that as much as possible this coming month
I like
because
that.
it could
I love
become
that.
very magical. It could be like look what happened or look what came my way just because I didn't control every step of the way.
Yeah. Right. Let go of that kind of need to control it
Yeah.
into your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. It's so hard to do, though.
I
They
know.
say, oh, just let go what doesn't serve you. And it's like, yeah, okay.
I know because we haven't been taught that
Yeah,
in our
exactly
society,
right.
right? Like we
Yes.
we keep getting pushed like if you want this, you got to take the bull by the horns and like,
Yeah.
push for it and blah blah blah. And like I mean sometimes yes, that's correct. There are times for that, but there's also times where you know what? I just gonna like and I think
Be
some people are gonna
lazy.
feel tired and
Yeah.
exhausted. It's like, you know what? I'm tired and exhausted from trying to figure it all out and what to do next and how to make this work or whatever it may be. And it's like, I'm just going to surrender. Like I always want to sit back and it's like, okay, you guys, I'll leave it to you. Whatever you may
Yeah.
believe in, whether it's a higher power or you just like, I'm just going to, whatever, if
Yeah.
it's nothing,
Walk away.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of let go of some of the triggers in our lives and
Hmm.
just, right. Let that flame
Yeah.
go of having to
Yeah.
be right and heard and understood. And, those are all kind of needs that we've been feeling a lack of for sure for the past couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
And I
think it's
think,
time to
yeah. And
gather that. Yeah.
yeah. And I think, I want to say it's a gift. Like, this is a month like um there's going to be like blessings and I don't write all these things in the forecast because I write what comes through the strongest, but it's
Yes.
like, it's a month where there's many blessings in disguise. So if you feel like, how come this isn't working for me? Why isn't this going my way? Take a breath, surrender,
That's
okay?
right.
Don't push for it because this is a time where it's about the universe, like whether you want to call it God, the angels, intuition, the spirit world, whatever. Let them, they're trying to help. So it's the
Absolutely.
unknown. The unknown's trying to help. So you know what? Surrender to that magic, to that miracle, to the unknown. And it's like, because it's a blessing in disguise. You'll find out later, like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't push for that, because you'll be like, you'll see why,
You'll see
right?
why it all kind
Yeah,
of makes sense. Look at
yeah.
these fabulous comments. Look at Pei
Go
Ming.
ahead.
Hello,
Yeah,
hello, hello. Welcome. Happy New Year to you.
yeah,
And she's talking about maturity too. So
yeah,
really, regardless, right, Pei Ming, of what age we are, we go through these elevations of maturing, and those are all accumulating to this point, to this now moment, right? Right, and we're forgetting to live in the now so much too. We're always in the future, especially as
mhm,
readers and sensitives and
yeah,
empaths, which we all are. We were always trying to get a grasp on what's going with the energy around us,
yeah,
because it can get like pea soup sometimes. It's so thick, the energy as a collective, right? And we're
yeah,
all feeling that. So it is time to kind of mature, elevate out of that thickness, and let them work it out on their own. And we need to work on other things, higher things now, as
yeah,
humanity grows, matures.
yeah.
And we've gone
Hopefully,
through these
yeah,
battle wounds, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's such a great point too. And Arlene, yes, she needs to. And absolutely, reciprocity, right? Is giving. We've given so much as healers, and everyone watching this is a healer, every one of us.
yeah.
Because if you're
Yes,
interested
that's
in what
right.
this energy is doing, you're a healer,
Yeah,
and we give healers. We have this innate sense to uplift and help and console each other, and so now we're doing that. We're helping each other rise, and that's just the all it comes down to, is helping each
yeah.
other rise and
That's
elevate.
right.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
and getting old helps too. Right.
That's a good, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
Right.
I know, because aging is so frowned upon,
It is. We're so
but there's
discriminated
value.
against,
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah, yeah. So beautiful, beautiful
Right.
comments from these
Beautiful.
ladies. Yeah,
Yeah.
love these shares. Keep.
Especially for women in aging, right? That's
Yeah,
just such the stigma that you're just an old hag or you're an old maid, or
that's
it's all
right.
these stereotypes that have been put on us.
Yeah,
God, it's horrible, but
I
I think
know.
it's a beautiful thing.
I
Yes.
know, I know, and we're not looked as beautiful when we're older,
Mm-mm. No.
but men
No.
are. Like, I mean, we don't call
Yeah.
men beautiful, but it's almost like, oh, the men are handsome as they age, and they're
Right.
distinguished, and they're sex, like, and it's like,
It's a privilege.
we got to
Right.
change that with women. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. We're
Absolutely.
elegant,
Ageism,
we're
no.
graceful. Look at, you're
Right.
beautiful, Julie.
Yeah, and you're beautiful, Tina.
Oh, thanks. And all these ladies in the
Oh
audience are
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah,
state of mind. It really is. Because there's some years, even before the age I'm at now, where I have felt, 100 years old. I really have. I've
I
just thought
know.
this is too
Yeah,
hard, right? And then
yeah,
there's times when I feel in my 20s, so it is. It's just a
yeah.
state of
I know.
mind, really.
I know. Yeah, go ahead. You're gonna say something, Julie.
No, I was going to say aging equals wisdom equals seasoned. I love the word seasoned, right? I've been using
Yeah,
that for quite some time.
yeah.
Hey, Mean,
And I
thank you
want to
so
say
much.
we're spicy,
Yeah.
right? We're
Right. Seasoned
spicy.
well.
Yeah. Woohoo. Ooh la la.
A little bit of spice. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Hi,
Watch us go.
Mara. I'm so glad you joined us too. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. I know, right? You need to
right.
change. There is this sense of I need to change now, right? Because we've all been in that quarantine isolation period, and it's not easy to be isolated, and no matter where you're at in the world, you're feeling
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah,
this, what, this is a month, and I'm loving how a lot of people are agreeing, like, yes, they're gonna try to surrender. Yes, they're just like, because you know
I'm
why?
ready.
Because, yeah, because it's like, this is a month, try not to control.
Yeah.
Like, just have faith. Have faith.
Yes.
And that's not easy to do, because you have to believe it before you see it, before you have evidence of it, before you have proof of it. So it's like really going within and having faith and trusting that, and going with that. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are ready because it's like, you know what? Me getting involved and getting my hands dirty is not always working. Me trying
No.
to find the answers to all of this with my head is not always working. So that's why I feel like I'm almost excited for everyone because it's like I want to say like the magic. It can be such a magical month if we allow that, if
Yes.
we can surrender. And I'm just going to share a quick story. So where I live right now, it's been like super cold. And so I still like to, I've been wanting to go for walks. So I try to go for a walk every morning because it's quiet. So this
Yeah.
morning I went for my walk and it was magical
Nice.
because
I love that.
everything was like frost, covered in frost. And there was a light snow, like very light. And I was like, this is magical. And the snow looks like fairy dust.
Oh
And
God,
and
it gets
so
glittery. Yeah.
as I was doing, I'm walked through these grounds, these gardens, and there's like paths and all these big pine trees and different trees, and they're all covered in frost, and the snow is like light dusting of snow. And I'm like, I'm in fairyland. I'm just imagining and surrendering to all these fairies showering me with fairy dust, and all my wishes are
Oh,
going to
I
come
love it.
true. So
Yes.
I just want to say, see, just so even though that might sound like, geez, that's not very smart or that's immature, it's like, no, that's magical to me. Like that
Oh yeah.
feels good. I'm surrendering to that and it's going with that. So that's just
Right.
an example. So it's like nature is a really good place to be this month. So if you're feeling like overwhelmed or like, I don't know, if you feel like, I don't know about this, go to nature because nature
Absolutely.
is so magical and is
Absolutely.
so miraculous, and I think it'll boost your energy, your spirit.
Oh yes, nature
Yeah,
heals all. Really,
yeah,
Mother Nature is so healing. Even if you're
yeah,
sitting in your backyard or your patio
yeah,
or your,
yeah,
take a step on your front porch. It's just so important to breathe that in and
yeah,
find magic again. Like, right? It's been
yeah,
so long since I've had
that's right.
magic in my life. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and I think a lot of people do, like people want, like, and that's one of the themes, the magic and miracles. People want to feel magical. They want to see the magic in life again because everything's been so, like, I want to say kind of dull in a way,
Mm,
right? Like,
yeah.
and it's like, well, and I think people might even be thinking, well, what's the point of life if if it doesn't seem like there's life out there? Like, where's the
Right.
magic, right? Kind of that
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I want to believe in Santa Claus again, right? I want
Yeah.
to have some magic and some mystery back.
Yeah.
It's missing from my life. So yeah, for sure, I'm going to bring
Yeah.
some more magic into 22.
That's right. Yeah. So just go with it. So if that means like, you want to go and do something and it's like has a magical element to it. And magical doesn't mean like magic tricks. It could
No,
just be
yeah,
like, oh, I'm going to go buy myself a package of oracle cards, or I'm going to get a crystal, or I'm going to whatever it is, like,
yeah,
play with the flowers. Like just
right,
yeah, it's do it. Invite
right.
magic. Mhm.
Yes. And it can happen even in the grocery store. You're in a mood and then someone
Mhm.
smiles at you or
Yeah.
does a good thing for you or out in public. There is still
Yeah.
magic out there. It's so hard to see it amongst all the darkness it feels like it's been, but
Yeah.
it's still out there. It's still
Yeah.
there. Happy New
Mhm.
Year, Jessica. Here we are,
Mhm.
22.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's your
Yeah.
magic?
Yeah. Well, and I was gonna say Julie has some magic because she's wearing like
Yeah.
really cute, starry Happy New Year.
I decided to be Tina
I
today.
know. Yeah, I love it. And I completely forgot. Like I'm like
I
usually I'm like
always
on the
do.
ball with wearing funky headbands, but Julie's got it.
I
Good
got
on
it
you,
today.
Julie.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so I love that. And right? Arlene is saying, love the grocery store, even to just go look something peaceful about it, right? There is.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the grocery store.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's like, that's part of the energies this month is because, of going within and watching, observing. It's like we will be naturally drawn to just daydreaming a lot, like just lost in thought or like just, how sometimes, you're supposed to, you're working on a task and all of a sudden you just stare off into space, like
Yeah.
your mind wanders and you're just daydreaming. Like that will happen a lot, and do that. Go with that.
Yes,
Um,
for
and
sure.
because the universe likes that. Like that's the energy of the 7 this month. It loves that kind of energy. It loves it when we do that.
Right?
And it's like things will take care of themselves. That's another part. Like it's like, oh, I sloughed off. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I
It's okay.
failed.
Like the universe is going to be like, we got you. It's
Yeah.
fine. It'll work. You got next month or whatever, right? They're not too concerned about, what we get done or not. They want us to work on our spiritual selves, our, that side of our life, our being. Um, and then that brings up, let's see, peace and quiet, because
Love
the
it.
7 likes that, and that's connected to nature. So it's like that's why nature can be, one of the reasons why nature is such a good healing tool, because I mean, it's not noisy or busy like us human people are, right? I
Yeah.
mean, like, yeah, you
True.
will hear noises from the animals, but it's not like us, right? Um,
It's a different kind of noise, you
yeah,
know? They're focused on what they need to survive and take care of their families with, really, in herds and stuff. So they're just focused on different things we should be focused on, really.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
all
yeah.
this virtual reality, technology. Look how far we've come with technology, and what a
Mm,
waste. We're wasting that technology. We could be finding cures to cancer and just all kinds of things, and yet we're building avatars where we can sit in our room with goggles on and not have to go out in the world, and it's like we could be doing so much more. We could do so much more with technology, and
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping that
Mm,
that does start to turn around. Instead of teaching us ways to be more isolated, teach us ways to how to come together and build bridges with each other and communicate with each other face to face and
mm-hmm.
um, live together in
Yeah,
harmony again.
yeah, yeah. And I think
Even
I
if
think
it's
that
new.
that's the year. That's part of the year that's supposed to, all that's
Yeah.
supposed to unfold, where people will want to share and gather and be part of the community,
Yes.
right?
Right.
And touch. Like I can feel like this is a year of people want to touch and be touched.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so mhm,
And Eleanor, it's the anniversary of her
mm,
sister-in-law's passing,
yeah.
January 7th. 7 is a special number. It really is. I always say, I know you guys have probably heard me say this before, that life goes in 7-year cycles.
Oh, for
And
you,
so
yeah,
for me, and I
yeah.
can count back 7 years and see the big change in that year, starting on the
Hmm.
8th. So it's really true. It's like a 7-year cycle for me. 7 is a very special number. I'm not quite sure why,
Yeah,
but it is.
yeah, it is. Well, because it's magical. That's
It
why.
is. I
And
love
yeah,
that.
it is. It's a magical energy. It is. Yeah. And connected to the spirit world and the unknown, and yeah,
Yeah.
miracles and mysteries as well.
Maybe that's
It
my
is.
word for 22 is magic.
That's what I
Magical.
want. I'm glad you brought that up. You know why?
Yeah.
Because, okay, I know we're going off topic here.
That's what we
So
do.
we don't follow a script. So I want to ask everyone. So this is how Julie and I met, because we signed up for this workshop together. And one of the things this fellow, I don't know if he taught us, but he brought up one of it was like pick a word for your year.
Yeah.
And for me, that was something new, because I've never heard of that before. I've heard of vision boards, right? Because vision boards are usually popular this time of year, right?
Oh,
Everyone's
yeah.
like, vision
Yeah.
board this, vision board that,
I
do your
hate them.
vision board.
Yeah.
And honestly, like my personal experience, vision boards don't work for me.
No, me either.
And you too. Okay.
Yeah.
So Julie and I did this, and I think it was because it was something it was kind of different, wasn't it? Like
It was.
he did
Yeah.
have the vision board thing, but I was like,
Yeah.
vision boards don't work for, I did it, but it didn't work for me. But the
Me
word
either. Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And I
Me
was
too.
really amazed. It took me by surprise, because it was like, really, how am I going to come up with one word? Like there's millions of words. Like, how do you
Yeah.
know which word to pick? And how do you know if it's right? So, anyways, as the year progresses, you do, like, you will see like how that word, has meaning, and how it fits and how it unfolds and aligns with your life. And then when you reflect back on that word at the end of the year, like you should be wowed.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's something we've kept up.
Yeah.
So I want to say to everyone, like, take some time. I mean, you don't have to, don't, if it doesn't, you don't rush through it, right? And don't get
Yeah. Don't force
discouraged
it.
if you don't, yeah, don't force it. Don't get discouraged if you don't get it, but play with it. See, like, what word, and I'm going to say, I think for some people, it's going to be a phrase this year for some reason. Like for some people,
Yeah.
it's going to be a phrase. So it could be
A
like,
mantra.
I'm like, yeah, like a mantra.
Yeah.
Exactly. So try to I don't want to say figure it out, like see what comes
Yeah.
and make
Naturally.
a note of it. Like, even if put it on a piece of paper and it's like my phrase or my word for 2022, and then like let it be and just see
Yeah.
how it plays into your life for this year. Like let it align and come into your life, right? Does that make
Arlene
sense?
is choosing a word, peace. That's absolutely
Inner
true. Inner
peace.
peace. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
nice.
it will show itself too throughout the year. I chose inner
Yeah,
peace for 20. I chose peace, but I wanted inner peace. I just didn't have the way to
yeah,
articulate that. But that's what I was looking for. And that is what I found in 20, even through all the COVID stuff. I
yeah,
did find peace there. 21, I couldn't find a word, remember? I
yeah, yeah. I
struggled. I
know you
still
were.
never did. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And
Now
even
I know
like when
why.
we were talking, you were like, I think this is my word. And I don't know if I should say it. I'll let you if you want to share it.
I don't
And
even
I'm like,
remember what it was. It
you
obviously
said,
wasn't
you
my
said
word.
your word should have been shitty. That's what you said.
Oh, yeah, I did. And I would have been right. It was shitty.
But this is what I want to say. There's two sides because there's two energies. It's like yin and yang,
Yeah.
right? Good
Yeah.
and bad, positive, negative, right? Dark and light. So when you pick your word, it's also going to test you. So it's going to be rewarding. It's going to
Yes.
be testing.
That's right.
So sometimes it's going to be about like you're learning how to incorporate that phrase into your life. So like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to freak you out, Arlene, but you said inner peace. So it's like at times it'll just be really easy. And then there'll be times where you'll feel like, oh my gosh, I'm frazzled. I'm, anxiety,
Yeah.
and it's like, this is where your word is like, okay, what do I need to do to bring in inner peace? This is teaching me, the universe is teaching me to bring in inner peace.
Yeah.
So I just want people to be aware of that. It's going to be um, both, both. You're going to learn both sides of the word or
Yes,
phrase
that is
you pick.
very true, Tina. Good
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
I love that song too. Don't worry, be happy. That was a great song. And I love that mantra too.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And Jessica's happiness too. That's the same
yeah,
thing. When you're looking for happiness, you'll find whatever you are looking for. But you're right. You have to see the opposite side of that to really
yeah.
truly understand the word itself, right?
Yeah.
So
Uh,
lovely though.
my oh my good friend Tanis is here. Oh my
Hello,
gosh.
Tanis. Happy New
I'm so
Year, good
excited.
friend of
Yeah.
Tina's.
Yeah, she's like my baby sister. So
Oh, well, welcome. Glad to see you. I've
yeah.
seen her here a few
That's
times, I think.
that's who I spent New Year's Eve with.
Oh, nice.
Her
You
and her
brought in the
family.
year together.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I know. I
wonderful.
know. And she shared with me her word because we did that. We did that New Year's Eve. We were all at the table and we were all discussing this and sharing what some of us knew like already. And then there was
Yeah.
some in the group that were like, they weren't sure. And it's like, that's okay.
Yeah.
It'll come. It'll come. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
her word is listen. I like that.
I know.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen to more
And
top
yeah.
less. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm going to say to Tanis too, I bet you too, Tanis, it'll be like listening to your own self as well, because it's about you too. It's not just about, our surroundings or other people. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm sure like Tanis will be like, okay, she's got to listen more to her inner self or her inner moods, her feelings,
That's right.
intuition.
Listen
Hmm.
to yourself. And most
Yeah.
importantly, that's exactly
Yeah.
right. Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Sherry's looking for how to draw people that are capable of relating and contributing to a relationship. That's a big one. That's a big one in a
Yeah.
relationship, right? It takes
Yeah.
a lot to really find those relationships. But
Yeah.
that's great. I love that because you're going to be looking for that in people.
Wow.
And when you're looking for that, you're going to find what you're looking for. So I love that.
Yeah.
And intuition. Yeah.
Yeah. And Pei
This is the
Ming.
year. Yeah.
Pei Ming says her word is acceptance. Wow. I just feel like these are powerful. These are all
Yes.
powerful and the potential, you guys. I want to
Yes.
say I'm excited for everyone, but it's like cautiously so. Cautiously.
You're cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously, yeah. Whew.
Accepting
Okay.
duality. That's so
Yeah.
true. That's the
Yeah.
duality you're
That's
talking
right.
about. That's what
Yes.
you're saying, right? You
Yes.
have to
Yes.
accept the duality of everything,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
that's when
Yeah.
we can really elevate above to rise above it all, get a broader perspective of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I love
Yeah.
that.
So do I. Okay. So the forecast
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Let's take a breath, right? Um, so one of the big, this was, I want to say, I feel like this is connected to intuition, and it's a great way of explaining how intuition works. And that's what sits well and what doesn't sit well.
Yeah.
And, I get an image of like people like, hmm, okay, let me sit with this. Like, like instead of rushing
Yeah.
and making that decision, or instead of, always like, okay, I gotta choose now. I feel like there's a sense of people are like, okay, let me sit with this. I want to make sure it sits well,
Yeah.
right? And then that's what they might call it or how they might look at it. But it's really, you're getting in touch with what your inner self, your intuition is trying to guide
Yeah.
you, or like, and I love that. I love that message. I love that theme that's coming for us this month.
I love that.
Mhm.
And when you're speaking of listening to, I've heard this saying a long time ago, listen to understand
Mm,
rather than reply.
mm.
So we're so busy trying to formulate a response, right? We're trying
Right.
to get our
Yeah.
point across and our ideas, but we forgot to listen to understand what they're trying to say. There's always an
Yeah.
underlying thing there, and that's where I think the triggers are going to come down for us a little bit while we're listening. We're not going to have these red flags going up as much. We're still cautious. We are still
Yeah.
cautious of what we're hearing. And you
Yeah.
have to be with all the misinformation, of course, right? Be very cautious. But listen to
Yeah.
understand rather
Mhm.
than reply. And it would be a better
Yeah.
world if we all did that.
Yes, definitely. So that can apply to anything. So whether that's, something new, something old, if it's with a person, if
Right.
it's something you think it's something like minute or, not very important, and you're not sure, like
Yes.
sit with it, see how
Sit
if it
with it.
sits well or not. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
withhold judgment, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Janice has got such great points too,
I know. I know. She's
right?
she's she's smart. She is. She
Very.
knows her stuff.
It's beautiful. Yes.
Um, okay. Now this one, I kept hearing, and I mean, I hear it a lot right now. Dear God, like, like prayers, but it's not necessarily like, I know prayers is very personal and people can get hung up on that, right?
On the word.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah. And some people, don't believe in God. Some people do, like, and this dear God, it's not about creating friction or like forcing anyone. It just feels like a lot of people will are looking for like their prayers to be answered, or looking for answers from out there. And
Divine.
I feel
Some,
kind of like a
yeah.
desperation with some of these people. So it's like maybe they're not entirely, that you don't have to be religious or you don't have to believe in God, but I just feel like there's a desperation where some people will be like, oh my dear God, like I need help with this,
Yeah. Yeah. An
and
intensity to it. Yeah.
yeah. And I want to say like every I always want to say like everybody, like, I know that's a big, was it not prediction, but I mean, I know I'm including everybody, but that's how I feel. And like,
Yeah.
that
I feel that.
like no one's immune is how I want to put it.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, um and there's no shame in that. And, it's not about, what's right or wrong. And it's just like, I feel like, and with this dear God, like praying and this desperation, also like, about promises, like, some people saying like, okay, dear God, if you give me this, help me with this, I promise I will. And it's
Yeah.
like, whether they be good or they're going to donate something or help out or whatever. But you
Yeah.
see what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what
I
you
do.
feel about that. Yeah.
It's a bargaining tool. I've done it
Yeah.
myself, and
Yes.
I still do it. I don't know
Yeah.
how to not do that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like if I sacrifice something, then maybe something good, maybe it's just
Yeah.
the way I was brought up, but I still do that. I still say, if you can cure my dad, I will do whatever. I'll be a
Yeah.
service to the public, or I'll do free readings, or you know what I mean. I'll give
Yeah.
back somehow if I can get
Yeah.
this miracle. I think that's just human nature, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. But especially so, it's almost like I feel like that's connected to desperation. So
Yeah,
it's like for everyone, it's going to be, even if you felt like, well, I've had loss the last couple of years or this past year, whatever. If this feels like, see, the dogs agree.
I know. Somebody must be at the door. I'm trying to
So
ignore
it's like something arises, like it's like
them.
all of a sudden you might feel like like there's this desperation with a certain area in your life or with something, right?
Yeah, right.
And I mean, I can feel it even coming from me. And it's like right now, I don't know what that's going to be for me in my life, right? But it's
That's
like, okay, just to have that awareness and yeah, where, okay, we're going to be, looking to a higher power or something to help us out because, like you said, we want that miracle, or it'll feel like, we need a miracle with this.
yes. Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels bigger than you,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
you're reaching bigger than you for
Yeah.
that.
And it could feel like, you know what, because there's no help out there
Mhm.
for me except
Right.
for God or
Yeah.
the angels or whatever you believe in. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like how Arlene is saying that she wanted some kind of sign. That's what
Yeah.
I'm always praying for. Give me a
Yeah.
sign. Give me a
Hmm.
sign that I'm on the right path here, that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm wanting the right
Yeah.
things. It's so hard to know,
Yeah.
So that's maybe where the surrendering comes in for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Stop trying to control that, Julie. Stop
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 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 That's right.
Right? and
Yeah.
and then you're not disappointed or feeling like I failed in that request. I must have not offered enough.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I really do. I think it's human of us to
Yeah,
reach
we
higher
do.
like that. And
Yeah.
I hope we all
Yeah.
keep reaching higher for that, because as a collective, that's when those energies really start to help us rather than hurt us.
Hmm.
So I love
Yeah.
that. And trusting yourself more, painting. That's exactly right. You do determine your own future. You do determine
Yeah.
your own happiness and the signs that you are seeing, because they are all around us. It's whether we're seeing them or not, right? Or
Hmm.
whether we're accepting that as a sign, or is that just my imagination? Then we start questioning ourselves.
Yeah. Exactly.
So when we start
Yeah.
to trust ourselves, then everything changes. Everything changes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's very, very valid. Very valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like the prayers could be like, calling in calm energy or calling in, something to
Yeah.
help soothe you, right? Comfort you. Yeah. Alrighty.
Right. I
So
love
that's
that.
that. So we said allow, surrender. Yeah, because surrender is about like, trying not to control every step of the way or to control like the outcome to reach that
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah.
So that means having faith. So we're going to talk about, do you want to talk about the tarot card, the tarot? Like I know you like to pull extra ones. Did you pull
I,
any extra ones
I
or do you want to
did.
talk about the animal? Like what do you want to do?
Yeah. I didn't pull any extra
I
ones
surrender to
because
you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Surrender for, and also another thing I just want to say, it popped into my head too,
Yes. Yes.
is
Go ahead.
don't forget to enjoy the journey. It is about the
Oh,
journey.
yeah.
It's not the
Yeah.
destination, right? And I've been taught that my whole life, and I forget. I forget
Mm-hmm.
it
Me
is
too.
about this. It is about what I'm
Yeah.
going through and processing and grieving and
Yeah.
wherein I'm joyful. That is the journey,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. So
Yeah.
I don't know, that popped into my head, but
Yeah. No,
um,
that's
the High
wonderful.
Priestess.
There we
I
go. There she.
love this card. There she is. If I
I
can get the
know.
light off her.
Yeah. I know it's hard with that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
you should mention okay, you should say the name of the deck and I'm
the
gonna take it
Light
out. And
Seers
then
Tarot.
yeah.
I love this deck. I do need to show the box more and the author more, because this is my favorite tarot
Oh,
deck.
see, okay, there is an S. Okay, Sears. Whoops. So I'm typing it in the box
Yeah,
in the
the
chat
Light
room.
Seers Tarot. It's my
I like
must-have
the deck
deck.
too. I
I
think
love
that
it.
deck you use is beautiful. I don't have one. I don't know what I'm waiting for. It's like, why don't I order a deck? Because I don't know why I don't. Just go
Right?
to Julie.
That's right. You said
Julie,
Julie.
show
You've
me
done
the
it too.
cards.
I do, right? How many
Yeah,
times am I taking pictures of my
yeah,
cards and sending
yeah,
it to you?
yeah,
But because they're beautiful. But look at all of that enlightenment coming into her too. And her eyes are both
yeah.
open and closed in this card,
I
depending on how
know.
you're holding it. So it's
Yeah,
magical, this card.
yeah.
And it is a receiving now. It is time to
Mm,
receive and open up and trust it, right? Trust the light coming in.
mhm,
The light doesn't hate the dark, it encompasses the dark, it absorbs the dark. So as
mm,
long as we keep letting that light in, to those shadows do get more intensified. There's the duality. When you're letting in light, the shadow rears up now because there's light there. So but eventually the light will overcome those shadows and it will absorb those shadows. It doesn't battle those shadows. So
mhm,
so keep yourself open to that, and open to the divine, and open to the signs and messages coming in, and
mhm.
trust the divine. That's one thing we can trust, is ourselves, our higher beings. We have this higher power that's not God. Well, it is God above all, to
Yeah,
me, source it is.
yeah,
But I feel like each individual has this higher being that's helping and guiding through situations. That's why sometimes we feel like we're out of the situation. That's our higher being coming in and handling that moment for us, because we're never given anything in a moment that we can't handle in that moment. You look back and you think, my God, that I don't know how I survived that. But in the moment you did. In the moment you were helped and carried through that moment. So
mhm,
don't forget that. Don't forget that. You're not alone. You're never alone, in those
mhm,
moments of pure grief and sorrow.
mhm.
You are being guided and carried by your higher being, I believe,
Yeah, we are.
that can
Yeah,
see the broader perspective, because we can't see it in
yeah,
those moments.
yeah,
That's why I'm so against guns. I really am, because I feel
mm,
like I don't think there are, maybe there are a few beings that have not found themselves in a moment of pure chaos in their lives and just wanting to have that quick temporary ending to that moment, because those moments can get very painful. And that's really my number one reason of why I'm against guns, is
mm,
because it's too easy to and fix a permanent problem, a temporary problem with a permanent solution.
yeah,
And that's my only problem with guns,
yeah, yeah,
is that. So
yeah,
I just think that if you can just hang on, like these last few years have brought out a lot of desperation, a lot in
yeah,
me too, a lot of desperation.
yeah, yeah,
And, desperate
yeah,
times call for desperate measures. So now it's time
yeah.
for us to rise above those moments, rise
That's
above it,
right.
come together, bring in the light. The light will always win, always,
Yeah,
against the
yeah.
dark. So
And that's what she's
that's my
doing in the
goal.
card too, isn't she?
She is. She's
Like,
allowing.
she's allowing that to come into her. And I love, it's like pink and purple.
It
I love
is.
pink,
Yeah.
and
Me
that's why
too.
I'm wearing pink today, because
I
it's one of
love
my
that.
favorite colors.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
me, pink is love.
Pink is love for me too. Yeah.
For yeah,
Yeah.
like when I tune into the energy of love, I always see pink color. So
Yeah. Yeah.
if anyone feels like they're not loved, and just wear pink. I don't care if it's a top, if it's a scarf, it's a jewelry, like put
Yeah.
something pink on.
I breathe it in. Like I imagine pink
Yeah,
light coming in through my nose and then the
yeah,
dark coming out, you know,
yeah,
and I do that a lot, or
yeah.
whatever color I'm needing in that
Hmm.
moment, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
chakra
yeah,
colors, right?
yeah, yeah. Gorgeous. Yeah, yeah. So she's a beautiful,
Beautiful one.
beautiful
Yeah.
card, and I want to say I'm excited for her being here this month.
Yeah, me too. I'm very excited. I love her. She's holds so much information. It's kind of like a download. You know, you hear a lot about these light codes and stuff. Have you heard this? Where
Yes,
we're being
yes,
downloaded, these light codes. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
what I think about that or not, but it does remind me of that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I know, because that's a whole different world, and where people say they talk light language, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not against it. It's just that, well, how do there's a lot of people that can't make sense of it, so they feel left out.
right. It's
That's
another
and
way to
that's
exclude.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just it's not because I know I don't know if I'm sounding catty right now, but it's
No, I know
almost
what you
like,
mean.
well, um, I think I mean, I think it's a part, yeah, part of this realm, or part, it's another form of alternative healing. But I also feel, though, it can be exclusive, or
Exactly right.
exclude people, because some
Yeah.
people just like, I don't understand it. Like, what are they saying? Or
Yeah.
is this for real? Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
anyways, that's just my
I
thing.
agree
So it's like
100%. Yeah.
downloading, I feel like, it should translate into the language you are comfortable with, right? So
Absolutely.
that
Oh,
you do
yes.
understand it, and can, because they want us to use it. It's not just like, here you go.
Yeah,
Now,
it's not some
right?
gift,
Yeah,
right?
like, and figure it out. It's all a mystery still.
Good
It's not
luck.
supposed to be that way. Yeah, have fun figuring
Yeah.
it all out.
Or how about the people, well, I know what it means, you know, and it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
No, you don't.
yeah. So
You're alive.
anyways,
When you die, maybe, but you're alive
yeah,
like me.
yeah,
Right. And the struggle is guided. Actually, Janice
yeah,
is so right about
yeah,
that. We are all being guided through our struggles, and they're so individualized because those are the lessons we need to individually learn. So it's all guided, of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
and
And it helps us grow. The struggles help us grow.
absolutely,
It
absolutely,
helps us appreciate. It helps us, it's to become wiser, better, right? And
right,
not everyone does that. Some people, like, it's like, they'll stay mean or become mean because of their struggles. And it's like, you're not,
yeah,
that's not the point. The
yeah,
point is so that, you can, evolve or rise above that, and show the
yeah.
other side to that, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's a
Well,
beautiful comment,
and
Janice.
we're naturally afraid of the unknown. We're naturally fearful of what we don't understand.
That's
So,
right. That's
you
right. And
know, be
that's where
easy on
surrendering,
yourself.
yeah. And that's why
Yeah,
sometimes it's easy to just surrender. It's like, okay, you know what? I just have
yeah,
faith, and then,
yeah.
like, maybe imagine being surrounded or guided by a beautiful being, or an angel, whatever. Or if you have a loved one that, on the other
Yeah.
side, imagine them being there and helping you, supporting you, because they are.
Oh, yes.
They are. They
I
already are. Yeah.
hug them all the time and talk to
Yeah.
them and
Yeah.
feel them all the time, for sure. They're
Hmm.
always there. So
Yeah.
it's only us that blocks them out. And sometimes you need to. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's up to you to learn that lesson too. And we do feel isolated and alone at times, but it's really just our state of mind in the moment. It's our lesson. And we will come
Hmm.
out of that. You will rise above that
Hmm.
moment. You will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
I'm
pick any
excited too.
other? Yeah, I know. Did you pick any other cards? I'm
I did
curious.
I did not, but I every
Oh,
time I
okay.
pulled for the year, January's cards came out very, very happy and joyful and a coming together and
Okay.
family. Ten of Pentacles pulled out several times when I was pulling for
Okay.
the year for January. So
Mm,
January, I'm really I feel like it's the starting point for us. You know, I feel
yeah.
like it's a starting point to say, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Acceptance, you know, accept where we
Hmm.
are And now I like to come together too, as I liked your word community. I really don't like the word tribe anymore. I'm kind of
No,
done with the word tribe.
it feels harsh.
It does. It feels like fighting or
Yeah,
warriors or
yeah,
something, you
yeah,
know?
that's exactly like I want to have a hammer in my hand and start pounding things or
Yeah.
people. I don't know. That's which
Right?
isn't, yeah, which isn't funny, but I mean, it's funny to have that kind of image with tribe. Yeah, I don't like tribe
Yeah.
either. It just
I
feels
like
rough and tough.
family. Yeah.
Or community. I like
Community. I
community.
love that too. Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's a year of community and yeah, and I think that's how people will want to gather. It's like,
Yeah.
you are, I mean, we can say yes, family, but it's not necessarily going to be because you're related by blood. It could be like,
Yeah.
you're in my heart, or I feel that heart connection with you. So we're family, or yeah, community,
Love that.
and
And we've
creating
built
that.
these kind of new families. And speaking of new family, here's Shirley. Happy New Year, Shirley.
Yes,
Thank you
happy
for
New Year.
making it.
Yeah. So I guess, well, we did touch, you did bring up the fox. It's the Arctic
Yeah.
fox. So that's the last theme we're going to talk about for this month. The Arctic fox came up, and it's hard. So, like, if anyone were to, let's say, Google the spiritual meaning of the Arctic fox, it'll be a lot of the sites have it just under fox. So, yeah, so you can
Mhm.
read that. Um, the reason why I see Arctic fox, because that's the specific animal I see, and I see it like in its white coat, because I didn't realize it as the seasons change up north, like its coat changes with the season too to camouflage. But Arctic fox, I think a couple of reasons why is like, okay, so this could be one, no matter where you live in the world, like you could be somewhere tropical, but it could be where like it's going to be colder than usual.
Yeah.
Because the Arctic fox, they said, is like one of the hardiest animals. Like it can withstand up to minus 70-degree
Wow.
temperatures. I
Dang.
know. Like I'm like, wow. I don't know if it's ever gotten minus 70 anywhere. I don't know how they know that, but
That's amazing.
it is. So for me, that means like, okay. And you were saying it's cold where you are. Like
It
it's
is
unusual, right?
rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been
Yeah.
freezing. Yeah.
And us, like, I mean, well, it's not rare for where I live to be cold, but what's rare is like how many days in a row or how long the cold snap
Yeah.
is, because usually we don't have it cold like this many days in
Yeah.
a row.
Freezing.
Usually we
Yeah.
get relief, but yeah, and it's been like some like bitter cold, like day after day after day, like it's.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, so it could be like, be aware of temperatures, the cold. You might feel maybe just cold more than usual, so it could be where like you're bundling up more, dressing warm, taking care of your skin because of the coat. Like it could be like,
Yeah.
be taking good care of your hair, your skin,
Yeah.
nails. What else did I want to say about Arctic? I guess it would be, um, I can't remember what I said in the forecast. Do you?
Yeah, I read it. I loved it, but now
Yeah,
I'm missing some of the words. But I was reading
yeah.
that the white fox has a special bond with the world of spirits and asks them to pay attention to their
Uh,
signs. So it is all about signs, what we were talking about,
yeah, and
and
the spirit
the
world
spirit world. Yeah,
and the
big
unknown.
connection,
So there you go. That's another good
right?
reason why. Yeah,
And a
yeah.
very capable huntress and knows how to camouflage in because
There
they're
you go.
white, so they can
Yeah.
hide in the snow. And yeah,
Yeah, and that relates to the seven energy of things being hidden. So it could also be, oh, that's what I want to say. So us keeping secrets. So we might feel the need, like, you know what? You will have a sense, let's say, or knowing, okay, this is where I want to go or do or try, but you maybe want to be like, you kind of want to hide it from the outside world, or be secretive
yeah,
with it. And that
true.
relates to the Arctic fox. So it's like, yeah, don't, if you feel like it's not, you don't want to share it with the world, then you don't right now. There'll be a
That's right.
time later, if you feel like keeping things close to your heart or hidden. That's aligns with the Arctic fox. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Hmm.
that.
Yeah,
Sometimes it is better to just keep things to yourself for a little while
exactly. Yeah,
and trust yourself with that information because
that's
yeah,
right.
I
Yeah,
love that.
before springing it on everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. And of course, just be aware of um, anyone being sly or cunning. So
Yeah.
follow your instincts. That's where it could be like observing and watching. And if it's like, if something doesn't look right to you, then it's not right.
Yeah. It's true.
Okay.
Trust yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the Arctic fox likes to watch, apparently. It likes
Mm.
to observe and yeah. Oh, yeah. And Tanis just says it connects with the suggestion to sit with it. It does.
Oh, it does.
It
Absolutely.
does. Yeah, it
All right.
does.
Let's sit with things. I like it.
We will. Yeah. Okay. Well, was there anything else you wanted to add or say? Because I
Um,
feel like I'm done sharing,
I feel like
talking. I
I'm
feel like
done.
I've talked a storm today. Sorry,
You
Julie.
did the forecast. No, no, I love listening to you. You have such great
Okay.
insights on these energies. So I
Okay. Well,
no,
thank you.
don't ever feel that way. And I feel the shift. I do. I feel the difference in energies from 21 into 22. Now that we're in a new number, so let's just rise with this now. Let's accept where we're at and go higher with it and higher and higher and bring some
Yeah.
magic back. That's really what I want. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. So wishing everyone. You want to? Oh, and you're welcome, Tanis. Thanks for being here. And
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much to everyone. Pei Ming too. That was wonderful, wonderful
yeah,
post that you did.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
All the
everyone.
shares. Yeah. All the
Yeah.
shares and all you viewers. If you were, quiet, just listening, we love that too. We love
Yes.
that about you.
Thank you.
Again, Happy New Year from Julie and I. May this month be full of divine magic and miracles, right? And
Yes.
yeah, much magic and miracles to all of us.
Yes. Let's bring them in.
Hmm. And be
Love it.
well, stay safe, and come back. We're planning to do a show next week.
Yes, we are.
We don't know the subject yet, but we will. So watch for that post. And I mean, I was really late. Like I posted the show details like less than an hour before we started. So it was very last minute. And I just appreciate those who did show up, because of that. So yeah.
Yes, thank
And
you.
it'll be
Thank
on
you.
YouTube and it'll be on the Facebook page if you um, want to look at this or check things out again in the show that you may, want to listen to again. So
Yeah, good deal.
anyways, there we go.
There we go. Happy New Year, everyone.
Okay. Love and light. Thanks for
Love and light.
watching.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.